Good morning. Isaac is enjoying his bottle at the moment. So I thought this would be a good time to make a video because he's going to take at least a couple of minutes to finish that bottle. I am sitting in our living room. People have asked why the windows look so strange, but we have shutters on the outside and the shutters are actually closed at the moment. So, yeah, we don't have curtains yet. We have blinds, wonderful blinds. And I'm sitting on our green couch, which we absolutely love. But yes, so I thought I'd make a video about my breastfeeding journey. And it's been quite a journey. Yes, so Isaac is actually drinking formula milk at the moment, but I am still breastfeeding. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. I am still breastfeeding at night and a couple of times during the day, but I try not to think about it too much. I actually just, I breastfeed when I can and when I think I should, and for the rest of the time he drinks formula milk. So how did we get here? Well, when Isaac was born, I breastfed him exclusively for 4.5 months. And I had one or two challenges. There were like one or two instances where I had lumps and where my nipples hurt and stuff like that, especially like in the first week or two when the milk comes in, as they say, or actually within the first couple of days. Yes, that was painful. As I explained in my birth video, or my birth story video rather, I had a few complications and had to go in for plastic surgery actually after like a week after Isaac was born. So go watch that video if you haven't seen that yet. So that was challenging because I was in hospital a week after he was born and I still had to breastfeed and I had a major operation. And I was struggling to sit up and to breastfeed and things like that. I don't know if you can see this, but Isaac is 7 months old now, but he holds his own bottle actually with one hand at the moment. Yes, with one hand. You actually do it with two hands all the time. But now you're getting fancy schmancy. With a longer bottle like this, he sometimes struggles to get it back in his mouth. He tried to zoom the video. But anyway, the first time I gave him a bottle at 4.5 months, he took the bottle with both his hands and he's been holding it ever since. So that makes life really easy. Anyway, so breastfeeding went really well. Obviously, it's really, really hard work to breastfeed, especially at the beginning when they feed for like every second hour, every 2 hours, day and night. You get very tired. And I also experienced that you have to be really strong and fit, really strong to breastfeed because most of the time you have to hold up that baby in some other way. It doesn't matter how many supportive pillows you have or how many pillows you put under your arm. You kind of all the time you're in this position. So and then carrying the baby around, and they get really heavy, really fast. So as jy klaar met jou bottel? Is jy klaar? Wil jy nog hê? Is jy klaar? Okay. He drank 100 ml now. Okay, so yes, breastfeeding went really well. Then he had to go to creche. I had to start working again. I started working at 5 months. I had 4 months maternity leave and I took 1 month's annual leave. And then he had to go to creche, which was heartbreaking. So I really, really, really struggled with expressing breast milk. From the start, I hated it. I didn't like it. I don't like it. And it simply doesn't work really well for me. I don't have an excess of milk at all. Like on a good day, I get out 60 milliliters. Okay, for those of you who are watching, ounces, 60 milliliters is about 2 ounces. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to read it on this bottle. The one, like, kind of measurements are in ounces. So, and that's not enough because he drinks 150 milliliters at a time, like at the beginning about 100 mils. That's about 3.5 ounces. I only get out 2. And then it takes a really long time. And like I had a nervous breakdown one night, like in the middle of the night. Now you have to get out the freaking manual breast pump or the electric pump with all its gazillion parts. I don't know how people do it. And from the beginning, Isak, the way he fed was a little bit, and he did that often. I only realized like now, like a month or 2 ago, that obviously that was also why my body, sorry, I have some food here going, I need to switch that off. That's why my body does what it does, meaning that I only produce like a little bit of milk at a time, and that's the way Isak feeds. So that makes a lot of sense, actually. Right, so I couldn't express milk, so there was no way that I would be able to express milk during the day and send it along to the creche like the following day. There was no way. Also, in my job, I have a very much a changing schedule. It changes almost every day, so there was no, at 10 and 2 and 4, I'm going to express milk. Like, that just wasn't an option. Obviously, we can't go for haircuts now during lockdown, so Isak's hair is growing out of style. Yeah. But doesn't he have the most gorgeous hair like you ever did see? So I started formula, and I cried a lot because I don't know where you're from and like what the in thing is at the moment for you. But my frame of reference is breast milk is best, and you need to really feed your baby breast milk exclusively. And it should be like a world war as an excuse for you not to to give only breast milk. So that was really tough because breastfeeding. Breastfeeding was going really, really well, and when he fed, he enjoyed it, we enjoyed it. It was so much of a bonding experience, and then to give that up for something like second class was really difficult. And then at the beginning it was difficult. What I did is for 2 weeks, was 2 weeks, yes. About 2 weeks before he went to creche, I started replacing feeds, like breastfeeding sessions, with formula milk. And I used like tissue salts and stuff to help me with swelling and with engorgement and stuff. So I would take a feed, give him the bottle, maybe express a little bit just for relief. And then like every day it got better, because as my body started noticing, okay, the 12 o'clock feed is now no more. Ow. Isak, moenie my hare trek nie. And then eventually I got to like the 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, and then from 5 o'clock onwards I only breastfed, and during the night as well. And then later on, like just before bed, I started giving him a bottle of formula milk. At work, I expressed if and when I could. At the beginning, it was so painful not having him feed. But then I could at least express for a little bit of relief. Nee, ja, ja, Zieni, ja, Zieni, wat is niks? He loves his feet. Wat is dit? Wil jy nog bottel hê? Wil jy nog bottel hê? He is 7.5 months now, so he's already sitting on his own. Wil jy bottel hê? Is jy? Wil jy hê? Nee. I think he wants a toy. Let me just make him aware of his dummy on his dummy chain because he loves playing with that. Kykie. Wow. Doe jou dummy? 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 Look at him opening his mouth. Dummy? Ah, mum. Yes, so I gave him a bottle right before bed. And that was also a difficult process. I cried a lot about that as well because like breastfeeding before bed was our time of bonding and like just before he goes to sleep and stuff. Let me put him here in his little play thingy. By the way, these oh God. Sorry. There we go. Oh God. Oh God, my love. He's so croaky. I don't know how to pause the video and make another one and upload it, so I have to do it all in kind of one go. What I was about to say is these pregnancy pillows are really handy because later on you can use it as a seat. Hi, Sienny. Let me just get him some toys. Yes, so that's kind of how I ended up giving formula milk as well as breastfeeding. I would say that if you ever consider, or if you are considering going over to formula milk, that's kind of a really good way to do it, to replace your breastfeeding sessions with the formula milk. And there we go. There we go. He loves that angel care thing that's not actually a toy, but anyway. Yes, so it was difficult at the beginning because you can see, even though you do paste bottle feeding, even though you use all the right bottles, you can see they prefer the bottle over the breast because it's just easier. They have to do less work to get the milk out. And then also I found myself also getting a little bit lazy because like here and there it's much faster just giving him a bottle. You prepare it really quickly and then for him to drink it is about 10-15 minutes, where if you breastfeed it's about 20 minutes on one side, especially at night. So what I do at the moment, now it's lockdown in South Africa, so I'm at home the entire day with him. So I breastfeed when I feel engorged, and I breastfeed during the night. I give him one bottle before he goes to bed of formula milk now. So when I say bottle, it's always formula milk. Expressed milk here and there. If I express due to engorgement, then I will give that to him first. But for the rest, I give him Nan, the OptiPro Nan, and he does really well on that since the beginning. He's fine with that. I gave him lactose-free Nan when he had gastro, like twice, and he did well on that as well. So yeah, I give him one bottle before he goes to bed, and then during the night I breastfeed him, and then I have one bottle ready for the morning. So just the cool down water, boiled water that's been cooled down, with the formula milk in a separate container. So I just mix the two. We have a double-story house, so I keep that upstairs with me. And at about between 6 and 7 in the morning, he wants his first bottle. Then I give him the next bottle. So, what I actually want to say also in this video is there's no perfect right way to do this. This is not the way I wanted to do it. I cried a lot about this. It was really difficult. And sometimes it still is difficult. I still, to this day, and it's been like 3 months now, I feel like, am I doing the right thing by giving him this formula milk? But then you also have to be honest about some other aspects. It really does make life easier. Having the bottle ready, especially going out in public. That was difficult. Finding places to breastfeed and then being in public and finding ways to cover up. Finding chairs with armrests, like just for your arms to rest while you're breastfeeding was really difficult. I remember one day I had this whole thing where I expressed milk and I brought it along. Like, I'm going to give him the milk in a bottle, but it's going to be breast milk. And I didn't have anywhere like for my arm to rest. And I used the diaper bag and I kind of put it under my arm like this while I breastfed him. And all those bottles like turned upside down and the whole thing was wet and all that milk leaked. I could tell you stories and stories about breast milk leaking and spilling and making a mess. Like, at one stage I thought there's kind of like some kind of conspiracy going on. Like, I'm not allowed to give him any breast milk because every time I expressed the milk, it spilled and it was all over the place. I couldn't get it into the bottle. Like, I don't know what was going on. But anyway, so Isak is a mixed feed baby. He had his breast milk exclusively for 4.5 months. What I'm really proud of. It was really hard work, and breastfeeding is hard work. Yes, so there's no right way. You have to find what works for you. And I finally accepted that this is what my body does. My body produces milk in small quantities and often. And that's the way Isak drinks. That's the way he drinks his bottle. I give him 200 milliliters for a feed. And he drinks 200 milliliters like maybe once a day, and usually that's the last bottle before he goes to bed, and then there'll only be like little drops left. For the rest, he drinks 60 milliliters here, 100 milliliters there, then 120, then 50, and not every 3 hours. I could never get to every 3 or every 4 hours breastfeeding. It was about 2 to 3 hours. And that was the way he feeds. Anyway, that's my breastfeeding formula milk story. And he's a really happy baby. He's growing really well. Wat wil jij? Is dit wat jij wil? Dat zij. Oh my baby. Wat wil jij? Okay, he wants all the toys now in this little bin. I'll make a separate video about this toy bin that I actually made in myself mostly. And yes, I'll tell you more about that in the next video. Okay, see you in the next one. Bye.